What's up, y'all? Seabell back here, another video. So today there were actually a couple of trades that kind of came out of nowhere in a sense, especially the second one I'm going to talk about. The first one, there was kind of some rumors about it coming up these last few days to a week or something like that, and there's kind of been mixed emotions on both sides of the trade. So let's just get straight into it. This first one I'm talking about is Quentin Grimes going to the Mavericks in exchange for Tim Hardaway Jr. and three second round picks, I believe. And I just gotta say, as somebody who is relatively unbiased in this trade, I'm from Texas, so there's a little bit of something there for the Mavericks, but I'm not a Mavericks fan in any way. And I'm a Kate Cunningham guy, so the Pistons, but I don't really care all that much. But Quentin Grimes to the Mavericks is something that I like. I really like it. I know I've been all over Twitter. I'm on the Mavs community page for Twitter, and there's a bunch of people on there talking about how they don't like it because he had a bad season with Detroit. But it's Detroit, man. What do you expect? Nobody goes to Detroit and plays well. Oh man. Like just the year before when the Knicks were in the playoff season, they're getting stop after stop against like anybody. He's guarding anybody and everybody. He, I know he can. He wasn't a great shooter this past season, but how much of that is because he was on the Pistons? He was on the Knicks for 2 seasons, I believe, and he was a great. Like I'm not gonna say great. He wasn't. It's not like he was the greatest shooter ever. But he's a good shooter, and he can get hot. When he gets hot, he's knocking down shot after shot after shot, man. Like some of the hate that he's getting from Mavs fans that are kind of disappointed about it. It's just like I don't like seeing it. But at the end of the day, I think he's gonna be good for them. He's another guy that can step up and guard people, especially in the playoffs. He's gonna step up his intensity and just bring it game after game after game. He's like one of those guys who's not taking games off. He's not gonna be like, oh, it's the regular season. I don't have to play super hard. No, Quentin Grimes is gonna get after it, man. He's gonna get after it. Um, as for Detroit, they got Tim Hardaway Jr. and then a few second round picks. And as you can imagine, Pistons fans aren't ecstatic about it. Tim Hardaway Jr. is on a massive contract, and he's not great. He's just not great. He can be a decent shooter at times for sure, but it's not very often, and he's old. But I think what Pistons fans need to remember is they're rebuilding. I know they've been rebuilding for forever, but they just got new ownership. They got new coaches. They need to have faith in this new ownership. I think they're going to try and do things the right way. Like with first of all, Tim Hardaway Jr. is. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets traded again before the trade deadline because he's the type of guy like the Lakers. I bet the Lakers or the Clippers, the Suns maybe, like a team like that is gonna probably try and trade for him. And with those, when you're dealing with those teams, you trade with them to get picks in like the future because they're not going to be good because they're trading everything right now. And along with that, you got three second round picks, and I'm in the group of people that is big on second round picks. Like there's been great players that have come from second round picks, and even if you're not going to use those picks, it's always good to have draft capital. You can package that up with other players or other picks and get better return because you have more of it. So that's been my thoughts on that trade. And the second trade, which is a lot more exciting in my opinion, is Dejounte Murray getting traded to the Pelicans for Larry Nance Jr., Dyson Daniels, 2025 first round pick, 2027 first round pick. That's two first round picks. Or I guess okay, the second one is a pick swap, but the first one is the actual pick. Uh, and it's the Lakers pick, 2025 Lakers pick. So I'm not really going to talk too much about the Hawks getting Larry Nance and Dyson Daniels. I don't necessarily love that for them. I guess Larry Nance is another lob threat, and Dyson Daniels is a project. Dyson Daniels is a long wing who he's pretty good defensively. I'm not gonna lie, he's a good defender, but offensively he doesn't really offer much. I mean, he's still young, so he has time to develop. But as of now, he's not really doing much for you offensively. So I don't know how much he's gonna get to play, honestly. But for the Pelicans, man, I really like it. I really like it. So if they were to keep their lineup right now, they're 1 through 4. I don't know who their 5 is because I'm Valanciunas is a free agent, I believe. So their 1 through 4 would be Dejounte Murray, C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson. And that's if they don't trade Brandon Ingram, which I've been seeing a lot of stuff hinting that they're gonna look to trade him. And I don't think that's the worst idea possible because you're gonna get a decent trade package in return for Brandon Ingram. Like he's widely known to be a great scorer across the league, and he's a pretty good playmaker too for his position. And that would allow guys like Herb Jones and Trey Murphy to kind of take that next step, and especially offensively. We know both those guys defensively are elite, and they're kind of right now restricted to being shooters on offense. But we've seen from both of them that they can provide more than just shooting. So I love it. I love it. Whether they keep Brandon Ingram or not, I think this is a good trade for them. DeJounte Murray is going to provide a lot. First of all, defensive intensity from the point guard spot. Because CJ McCollum is a point guard, like, especially defensively, with so many elite point guards in the league, he can't guard them. I'm sorry, he can't guard, and he especially him being undersized. But with DeJounte Murray, that adds a point of attack defender who's just going to hound the ball handler every game, and that's something that they've been missing. Honestly, they have Jose Alvarado, but he's so small, like he's not as impactful as somebody like DeJounte Murray can be. So I love that. And also offensively, they're getting a guy that's going to get downhill and just get buckets. He has a nice little mid range, and at times he's a pretty good 3-point shooter. But what I'm really looking forward to the most is the 2-man game with him and Zion. I love watching DeJounte Murray operate in the pick and roll, and with him having Zion, ooh, toss it up, highlights, highlights. I love the trade. I personally love it. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if they do end up moving Brandon Ingram, though, as I've already mentioned, but we're going to have to wait and see for that. There were a couple of other things that happened in the league today, but they weren't really all that important. It was, I think, Bruce Brown, Seth Curry, and there's one other guy. They all just, like, with their teams had, I think, team options, and they kind of push back the expiration date on the contracts so they can try and develop more trades, like, or see if they want to re-sign them and stuff like that. So not all that important at this moment, but I'm sure something's going to come from at least one of those things. Your boy C-Bop going to be here to talk about it, so don't worry. I got you. But that'll be it for today. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. I would appreciate it very much. And I'll leave my Twitter, which I'm very active on, link in the description, as well as link to my podcast for the love of the game. So that'll be it. Thank you guys very much for watching. Peace.